Welcome, everyone. It is Thursday night, and you know what that means. Just a bit outside radio show live on the air. You're checking us out on YouTube. You're checking us out on Facebook. Like the show page, like the show, share the link, share the love. Do all those things the content creators ask you these days. Today we got a very special Jabo Superstream. We're going to debut a pop culture segment for the second half of the show. But for now, you got Mark, you got Keisha for the regular Jabo show. So, Keisha, how's it going?
Hey, what's going on, Mark? What's going on, everybody? Happy Thursday. Happy NBA Thursday. Just because the season is over does not mean that the NBA action stops. Tonight we got the NBA draft going down, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But before we do that, let's talk a little bit about what's going on around town, man. There's been there's a lot going on. I mean, summer is officially kicked off. And, you know, Charm City is getting in full gear with events and things to do around the city, man. This past weekend we had AFRAM, which is back at THRU Hill Park. Basically it's African American Heritage Festival where you have, singing, dancing, artwork, vendors, food. Man, the mayor was out there. It was a beautiful weekend, and it's been a tradition here in the city of Baltimore for quite some time, yo.
Did it go back to Druid Hill Park last year, or was this the first year back?
I believe last year was the first year back.
So I think we might have talked about it, but
yeah. I haven't. I mean, I do have to admit. I used to go all the time, but I have not been since its return to the park. And, it's really great for Druid Hill Park because they are basically giving the whole entire park a major facelift. The pool, they renovated that whole area. I mean, it looks like a water park now.
Really?
Yeah, man. I mean, like, legit with slides, the whole nine.
I think recall it had a facelift, like, I don't know, 12, 13 years ago when I lived in that area.
Yeah, no, they did another one during, like, COVID, a little bit before COVID, and, yeah, man, like I said, like, water slides, newer, it's basically a newer facility.
Nice.
With more things to do. I believe you can go on Parks and Recreation for Baltimore City. They have time slots, so you have to register, and that's pretty much for crowd control, safety, the whole nine. So if you're thinking about taking your family out there, go ahead and check out Baltimore Parks and Recreation. Pool's awesome, man. You definitely should experience that this summer, even though we haven't really had too many hot days.
Hey, first day of summer was yesterday. What was the temp? 66?
Right. Yeah, it was so crazy. I was just talking to my mom about that. Like, I've actually been enjoying this quote-unquote warm weather.
Yeah.
But,
even the boy can complain about the heat in the car.
Yeah. But yeah, man. I mean, AFRAM was here and in full effect, and as always, is a major success. And so, shout out to Brandon Scott and everybody that, pitched in with AFRAM this year. It was very nice to, see it going back strong at the park.
I remember they used to have a big musical headliner.
Yeah, they did have a musical headliner. Gosh, I do not know who that was. If anybody on the feed knows, give me a shout out on that for real, because like I said, I didn't attend this year, and
pre-pandemic, I remember them grabbing some big names, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. I mean, it's same thing every year. Yeah, I don't know. I can't even say I know who it is. I want to look it up. Oh, yeah. Okay, all right. Here we go. All right, so this is what the lineup was. They got they had the Osley brothers. That's who. They were on Sunday night. I was thinking to myself, like, I was just talking to a friend of mine I called him Sunday night to wish him a happy Father's Day, and he was telling me that he was, in an Uber with his parents, had an airframe, and I was like, oh, all right, that's cool. And I remember him saying, my father said he wanted to, hear the Isley Brothers. So, the Isley Brothers was out there, Ty Dolla $ign, Kid Capri, Spinderella, man.
Okay.
Tamar Braxton, Eric Roberson. Oh my God, I love his stuff. Eric Bellinger. They celebrated the anniversary of Baltimore club music. Rest in peace, K Swift. Man, so yeah, they had a big lineup this year. I think it was all the way live, and of course they also celebrated Juneteenth, which was the Monday following the AFRAM.
And I knew you get all them federal holidays off, so I know you're off.
Yeah, Doug. Yeah, definitely was off.
I wasn't.
Hell yeah. So, yeah, AFRAM was going down. We got a couple of things popping off this weekend. Camden Yards is going to be lit and in full effect tomorrow night, yo. Have you heard about this?
No.
What's going down at the yard afterwards?
I know Saturday they got a big giveaway, but I haven't heard tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll talk about the giveaway in a second. But tomorrow, if you are fortunate enough to go to the game, I believe there is an option to stick around afterwards for, what the Orioles have
Wait. I think I know.
Yes.
I think I know.
Let me do it.
Hey,
Let me do it.
all I'm going to say is I had that first album. Laugh all you want.
Oh, shit. We'll talk about that in a second. Hold on. But, you got an option to stay after the game. You will have a special treat. There is going to be a dance party, and on the ones and twos is DJ Diesel. Now, when you say the name DJ Diesel, that should ring a bell or have your spidey senses tingling. Yo, and if you're feeling my vibe, yes, you are on the right track. We are talking about the big man Shaq. Yo, Mr. Shaq Diesel is trying his hand at DJing, and is going to give the 410 a little taste, man. I'm like, I halfway want to go out there for that.
Now it's being called a DJ set. Is he spitting bars too, or is he just playing?
Let's all hope and pray that he does not spit bars and test that musical ability of his. But Mark, yo, you said you had the first album.
Shaq Diesel, hell yeah.
Oh shit! Do you remember your favorite cut?
Oh man, I don't know. I wouldn't know the name of the songs as it is anyway. It's been
I want to say that's been so long. That is definitely not something that stays in rotation.
I will say there was some stuff that was decent on there, but damn well that stuff that was produced and it wasn't all Shaq.
Right. Yeah. No shit. Yeah. So Shaq's in the house, man, and he has invested in Baltimore. So I was even wondering if he was going to, do a little food promotion or something while he was.
He will.
While he was there, if you guys don't know, like I said, Shaq has invested in the city of Baltimore, specifically in as part of the renovation of Baltimore Arena, and Shaq has a fried chicken stand inside the arena. I can't remember what the name of it was. Something like the Big Cluck or the Big Chicken or something like that.
The Big Cluck, that sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah. It screams Shaquille O'Neal. You know what I mean?
Shaq wants to put his fingers in your mouth. Chicken fingers. fingers.
So yeah, man. It's good to see Shaq doubling down. In the 410, and I'd like for that to be the first come through, man. Shaq coming all the way through for the 410.
It's gonna be all the way through if Salty TNT Shack comes on.
Yeah, man. I mean, Joe, he's got to be one of the busiest mans in the business. Him and Charles Barkley, they be going for that number one spot. I'm telling you, But yeah, so Friday night we're gonna have a dance party with Shaq. Saturday at the Yard, they are having the Purple Pride jersey giveaway. I will be out there for that game. So if you want to have a beer, have a round with Major Keish, hit me up. I will be. I'll be out there at the Yard. It's a 4:00 start. Like I said, giveaway is going to the first 25,000 people. I suggest if you want to get that jersey, you take your ass there early. It's going to be a lot of people out there. And, if you want to holler at me, get at me through, drop me a DM on Instagram, Major Keish. Most of y'all know how to find me. If you do not, that's MAJORKESC. Major Keish. Holla at me. I'll be there. What else is going on around town? Since we were talking about baseball, let's talk about the Orioles.
Yeah.
Man. I've been keeping track. Now, I can't even say recently at this point. Cedric Mullins and Ryan Mountcastle have been on the IL list. We can't say recently anymore, can we?
It's
been quite some time, yo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember when we first started talking about this. The original announcement was a 10-day IL. And I told you, I think I might have told Jana too, like, I'm hearing it's going to be longer than some 10-day IL stuff. And yeah. I think we are now in week 3?
Probably week 3, yeah. But
yeah.
20 days or so.
Yeah. They're on the mend. And more importantly, they are rehabbing.
Yep, they've had their first
Mullins,
game with the Norfolk.
Yeah. Mullins and Mountcastle. They're down there in AAA Norfolk, which we know and love, close to the heart. It's back to business for Mullins. I believe in one of his first couple appearances in rehab, he's already homered. So,
yeah.
Hopefully things continue to go well. It'll probably, I don't know the exact amount of time when he'll come back, but I imagine it'll be another week or two.
Yeah, rehabs aren't usually too terribly long.
Yeah. So, I was also thinking, because what we got coming up, man? We got the MLB All-Star Game coming up, right? Which is, when is it?
It's like 3 weeks or so.
Yeah. I'm even wondering if actually it's not even 3 weeks. It's in like 2 weeks, dog. It's kicking off July 7th, I believe.
Is it? That's early for the All-Star game.
I feel like it. I really do. I do.
Okay, so the game itself is on July 11th.
July 11th. Okay, I would say the festivities kick off on the 7th.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if they're gonna even come back before the All-Star break. If it was me, if I was Braden Hyde, what are you gonna throw them out there for 1-2 games? I would just let them go ahead and come back on the other side of the break. How do you feel about that idea?
You always want to see the big dogs come back, right?
We do. And we've it's kind of been up and down since we've lost the guys. Always talk about intangibles, and Cedric Mullins is a captain of that team. He is a veteran of that team, and I know that we not only are we missing his offensive production, but the voice of the squad as well. You're all for them coming back before the break?
Yeah, I'm just kind of taking a look at the games before the All-Star break right now.
Yeah.
We got Seattle's coming to town tomorrow night.
Yep. That would be a good
Cincinnati,
series.
which I know that's on the topics.
You said what now?
The Reds.
Oh, yes. We were talking about them next, as a matter of fact.
Minnesota. I mean, Minnesota's not. I mean, they're hitting 500 right now.
Yeah, they're not doing too bad.
Oh, and we wrap up. I guess the Twins again.
Uh-huh.
And we got the Yankees squeezed in there a little bit too. Yeah, I mean, the Reds are gonna be tough. Maybe bring it back around that time with the Twins. You know, yeah, I definitely like to see at least Mullins come back. Mountcastle had a little bit of problems last night in his game, but
yeah,
you know, we'll see. But yeah, I say bring it back before the All-Star game.
Okay. Cool deal. Well, now, you mentioned the Reds. Reds right now are one of the hottest teams in baseball. They are riding an 11-game win streak. They're sitting at the top of the NL Central. And, I mean, let's face it. I mean, at this point, this is not your mom and dad's Reds, right?
No.
This team is actually looking pretty good. And, you know, with all the recent success and you know, everything that's going on, especially in the NL Central, which is, you know, it's kind of tight. You know, top 4 teams, 4 out of 5 teams, they're within 5 games of each other.
Yeah.
And, you know, at the bottom, you got St. Louis Cardinals who I feel like they're trying to figure things out right now. It's a mixed bag of nuts over there in St. Louis. But back to the Reds. Mark, you ready to start taking this team seriously? I mean, like I said, sitting on top of some pretty good ball clubs. I mean, the Brewers have always been fantastic. Marcus Stroman has found new life down there with the Chicago Cubs. I mean, you know, do you think Cincinnati has staying power up top of the NL Central?
Yeah, we're 2 months into the season now, so it's everything's evening out.
Yeah, we're believing what we're seeing at this point, right?
Yeah, we're seeing what we're seeing, and you know, like you said, they're on like an 11-game win streak right now.
Yeah,
but they were the kind of talk of MLB before too, so it's not like they had a sudden streak and get to have their hot moment of the season. No, I think they got the staying power.
All right, and you know, this season we've had a lot of what I like to call unusual suspects that have been, you know, just brewing the top on each of the leagues. I mean, you know, the Orioles are one of them. You know, they in the AL. You know, we have been bottom feeders, and we are still in strong third place and just a half game away from the Texas Rangers, you know, at second place, which we had. We've talked earlier in the league about the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Oh, man.
Oh man, you have got to be, you know, you've got both. I mean, you got one in the NL and the AL. I am supremely jealous of you right now. They're doing great.
What's
Mark.
crazy is, like, you know, 4 or 5 years ago, I remember us talking about the Diamondbacks. They had a really great season.
Yeah.
Them, the Dodgers, and the Rockies were like fighting for first place in that.
Yeah.
In the division, Dodgers ended up getting it.
Yeah.
And we kind of looked for the Diamondbacks to do good since then, and they had some really rough seasons. But man, they are so amazing this year to watch.
It's like the Rockies and the Diamondbacks kind of traded places. I mean, the Rockies are in the shitter right now. I can't even watch them. And, you know, I got a soft spot for Colorado, so I try to keep up with their sports, but I can't even watch them. They're like absolute trash. I mean, if you want to see somebody, you know, if you want to see a game full of dingers, then watch the Colorado Rockies, because they love giving up home runs. But, yeah, man. I mean, the Arizona Diamondbacks are doing pretty good. The Miami Marlins, Cincinnati Reds. I mean, these teams are for real, and you can't discredit them anymore. You know, we talked a little bit about the Pittsburgh Pirates earlier in the season. They have kind of slid, but, you know, I'm not ready to count them out just yet. So, you know, we got some unusual suspects putting their flag down in the league, in major leagues, and, you know, this is really going to make for an awesome postseason, man. I'm serious.
I think we'll get some unusual suspects in there in the playoffs. Hopefully.
Absolutely. Major Keish, easy money bet. I mean, for shits and giggles, go ahead and put a couple dollars on the Orioles to win the AL. I just, hey, all it is a couple dollars. You can make out some serious money.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling it. I feel like once we get Mountcastle and Cedric Mullins back, it'll be back to business as usual. Like I said, we are a half a game away from Texas. We just took on Tampa Bay Rays in the series. I believe we won that series.
It was a split. It was a stupid.
It was a split.
Series.
Was it only 2 games?
Yeah, I hate 2 games.
I hate that too. Oh man. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking about it now. Like I know I watched both games, but I didn't know if there was a third one. Okay, so 2-game series, split it. All right, no problem. But it's going to be back to business as usual, as I said, when we get those 2 major pieces back with the Orioles. So, this next couple of weeks, if they come back, I'm looking for them to gain some ground. I'm looking for them to gain some ground and, not only take over, that number 2 spot, but to, get a little closer to the AL leading Tampa Bay Rays. That's what I'm looking for, man. Let's take it from the baseball diamond to the hardwood. My beloved Wizards, they've been a very busy basketball club over the past couple of days,
Woo!
Yes. I'd like to take a minute to talk about it because, I'm upset. But I'm upset, but I'm happy at the same time. First, the biggest one, the big ball in the drop was that the Wizards dealt Bradley Beal to the Phoenix Suns. Very upset about that because I thought he was great for the organization, but very happy for him as well because the Orioles are freaking crap and they just. I am just so pissed off at their front office right now. I'm not even going to go on that tirade, but I'm happy for Bradley Beal because this gives him a legit chance at the title.
Yeah.
He's been hanging in there for a long time. I mean, he is an NBA All-Star. He deserves the title shot. So, good luck. Not only good luck down in Arizona, but good luck with Kevin Durant. I don't know. More and more every year I'm giving Kevin Durant the side eye. So, hopefully everything works out down there with him. I mean, having him and Devin Booker is a one hell of a 1-2 punch, right?
Yeah. Whether they have DeAndre Ayton or not is gonna be up in the air.
I was gonna go off the bat and say, I don't think he's gonna be there, but I made super sized assumptions about Draymond Green, and look where we are with that. So let's keep talking. In exchange for Bradley Beal, the Washington Wizards received Chris Paul, which was a head scratcher. Like, I was just like, oh my goodness. Like, honestly, we don't really need him. He's kind of old now. But ultimately, the Wizards had a plan in mind. So Chris Paul did not stay with the Wizards for long. He was then dealt to the Golden State Warriors, which made my mouth literally drop open, in exchange for Jordan Poole. Now, this goes back to my Draymond Green comment. I was so absolutely sure that Draymond Green was on his way out the door. I mean, they gave Poole the bag. Mark, what the hell is going on in Golden State?
I think they're looking to reset. Now, CP3 might not be the way to go because that's definitely not going younger.
Yeah. What the hell?
You do know what's going on with Draymond, right? Was it
Draymond?
I thought it was Draymond that said he wasn't going to come back next year. Like, he wasn't going to sign his option.
Really?
Yeah, so Poole and Draymond gone.
Okay. Well, I mean, now that makes a little bit more sense.
Oh, wait,
Um,
the professor's in chat that says Draymond's staying with the Warriors. Huh.
really?
Okay.
Yeah. Originally when I thought, when I heard about Poole coming to the Wizards, I was like, okay. Well, my first thought was, okay, then Draymond Green is most definitely staying. But I started thinking more about it. Okay, Mark. Now, this past playoffs, Jordan Poole was not great.
Yeah.
He did not play anywhere near the value. He did not give you anywhere near the value of what you're paying him for. So, I'd have to say, if there was ever a reason that his playoff performance was detrimental to him staying in Golden State. So, I think the Kyle Kuzma, Jordan Poole connection can be good, but he's going to tighten up. If you ask me, he's really going to have to tighten up. Before I'm gonna say I'm happy that he's on. He's on the Wizards squad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I looked it up. Draymond Green did decline the player option.
Okay.
Which is like $27.5 million. But a lot of people are saying that CP3 going to the Warriors is maybe a sign that he will stay. And there's even a website that's giving out odds whether CP3 and Draymond trade punches. So.
Oh, what the fuck? Yo, I don't think that you punch a former president of the Player Association, in the mouth. But I mean, who knows? It really depends on what side of the bed Draymond Green wakes up on, right? Like, honestly.
Okay, so on the site Bovada, I'm not too familiar with it, but it's an odds maker, I guess. The odds are plus 5,000 for the bet. Will Draymond Green be fined for punching Chris Paul in the face before Game 1 of the season?
Internet ain't shit, man. I'm telling you. All right, that is funny. Okay, so that whole little trade was a lot in itself, right? The Wizards were not done. The most recent news is that center Kristaps Porzingis, which we have received from the Dallas Mavericks, is now packing his bags and on his way to Boston.
Yeah.
And this was a three-team trade with the Wizards, the Grizzlies, and the Celtics. The Grizzlies will receive Marcus Smart from Boston. The Wizards will receive Tyus Jones from the Grizzlies, and I believe Danilo Gallinari and Mike Muscala from the Celtics. Can't say that I'm thrilled about this business either. Honestly, man, I have no idea. WTF? I mean, this is the WTF moment of the week for me, man. Like, what in the devil are the Washington Wizards doing? I don't get it, man. I'm not happy with them at all. At all.
You don't think it's going to benefit them?
Jeez. I don't know.
I do think they should have probably tried to keep Porzingis.
Right? What the shit, man? Like,
the Celtics,
okay,
man,
you know what?
The Celtics kind of just said, we're unhappy with what we did last year, so that's a big deal
yeah.
for them.
I was kind of surprised about the whole Marcus Smart business.
Yeah.
Like, I would have thought, I honestly would have thought Jaylen Brown would have been gone before Marcus Smart. But, well, I guess, we'll see. There's plenty of weeks before the first ball was thrown up in the air. So the Wizards are making moves. Major Keith is sad about it all. Might as well go from here to talking about the NBA draft, which is tonight. The 77th NBA draft is at Barclays Center in Brooklyn. We were just talking about the Wizards. I just wanted to talk, because we're kind of short on time here. All right. I just wanted to say a couple of things about the NBA draft. I mean, we all know who's going number one, right? And who's going to get them, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right? Victor Wembanyama. How do you say his last name? I know I'm gonna spicy that thing. Wembanyama.
Yeah, something like that.
Wembanyama. The dude threw out the first pitch a couple of days ago. Was it early this week or last week? Maybe over the weekend. He should stick to basketball, of course, as most people should stick to their day jobs when they go and throw out a first pitch. Very few are extremely successful. But the Washington Wizards had the they had the number 8 pick in tonight's NBA draft, and the first 5 seem like they're pretty much locks. Outside of that, it could, it's almost like anything goes. And with the number 8 pick, the Washington Wizards are in position to pick up a gem. So, with all of these moves that they've made, I am very interested to see what position they go after in their first pick of tonight's NBA draft, yo.
Yeah, I feel like the draft is entirely centered around Wembanyama, Jambalaya, and pretty much like the rest of it, just I don't feel like there's no interest in. Like,
honestly, yeah.
But homie's 7'4", like Shaq is 7'1". Like he's got 3 inches on Shaq. This dude is crazy ridiculous.
But you know what? Is it just me? Or is it? There are very few people beyond 7 feet, 7'1", that do not look awkward on the basketball court.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I have not watched a lot of footage from this kid, but that's what I'm going to be looking at. Off top. There's only one Kevin Durant. You know what I mean? Like, is Kevin Durant 7 feet? Is he?
Right.
Or maybe close. Might be like what, 6'11", 6'10".
Something like that. Yeah.
I thought he might have been almost 7 feet tall, but when it comes to tall, when we go north of 7 feet, I just feel like some of the mechanics get lost in the height. They're calling him the unicorn though, so I'm just not gonna give my evaluation until I watch a couple of games. But that's gonna be the thing that I'm looking for, as far as that kid is concerned.
Well, those bigger guys too, they they aren't known for going the distance and having good conditioning.
Yeah, knee problems up the wazoo.
DJ
Diesel. Yeah.
But, he played a year in Europe, like a lot of guys are doing now, and played for France Metropolitans.
Yeah.
And apparently he played like all 62 games that they had, and went through the entire playoffs. 0-3, got swept and out, but it sounds like the kid's got potential to have really good conditioning and stick it out. Like, kind of excited to see how he does.
Yeah. Mark, I was talking about how, the first 5 is pretty much a lock. There is one selection that in the top 5 that I am very interested in, and that's the number 2 pick with the Charlotte Hornets. Okay? There's been a shift in ownership, and I guess, subsequently a shift. It could be a shift in the vision for this franchise. We didn't talk about, because this happened like last week, right? The sale with Michael Jordan and the Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about, right? That happened last week. Okay, so let's just talk about that a little bit. Michael Jordan sold his part of the Charlotte Hornets. I almost called them the Bobcats. So old school. Charlotte Hornets. He sold it, which to me was jaw dropping. I had no idea. It was like a couple billion dollars. Okay, what was it, like $3 billion?
Something like that. It was ridiculous.
Few billion. Like, did you think there was that much value in Charlotte's basketball team?
I mean, pro sports, teams always go for crazy amounts of money. So yeah.
Billion. They haven't even won. Like, I mean, hey, anything with Michael Jordan's name on it probably grows exponentially insane all the time anyway, right? And God damn, come through for Michael Jordan. It's like, honestly, can he have any more money? I mean, seriously, I was just literally thinking, like, he had so much money. These few billions of dollars probably wasn't even. He probably wasn't even that impressed behind it. But it's just like, what do you do with all that money? There's no way you can spend all of that money in a lifetime. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you do with all that? I mean, you can help every charity on the planet and still have money left over. Just unbelievable amounts of money. Big come through for Michael Jordan. But back to the Hornets and tonight's draft. With the second pick, the Charlotte Hornets actually have two options. Okay, they could go with forward from Alabama, Brandon Miller, or they could go with a guard with this Scoot Henderson, G League player. I have seen some of his stuff. I am a fan. I am actually hoping that they go with Scoot. I think that him and LaMelo could be it could add value. That combination could add value to the club. Terry. They currently have Terry Rozier, who is great, but let's be honest, his time has come and gone. So let's keep the legs moving. The Hornets were one of the higher scoring teams of the past couple of years in the NBA. So I think Scoot will be a good fit for him there down in Charlotte. So outside of those two things, the NBA draft can run amok. I'll read about it tomorrow. Is there any other squads that you're looking at, or any other players that you're looking at that could be going down in the first or second rounds of the draft? Marco, are we good on the draft?
Yeah, we're good. Like I said, Jambalaya, whatever his name is, he's got the focus. Does the NBA draft, does that take place all in one night, or do you split it up like the NFL?
Jeez, man, I want to say. You know what? I want to defer to Harry on this one, but I want to say 2 days. I feel like it is because they have lots of rounds and players and stuff too. But Harry, give me the 411 on the draft process. I believe it's more than 1 day. Harry will jump on and let it set the record straight for everybody. But that's pretty much it. Do we have anything else on the menu? For the sports realm, you got any wrestling news or anything else that caught your eye this week that you wanted to rap about?
Nothing on the wrestling tip. Just AEW Collision debuted last week. Pretty good debut. It's on Saturdays at 8. But WWE has a pay-per-view coming up next weekend.
Okay.
AEW has their Forbidden Door crossover with New Japan Wrestling this weekend on Sunday.
Yeah.
So it's been pretty entertaining stuff going on.
Cool deal. Okay, well, that concludes our portion of tonight's Superstream, as Mark so brilliantly have labeled it. In this show, Baltimore Spread Love, yo. Yo, stick around. We about to take a little break, and when we come back, what we doing when we come back, Mark?
We're gonna get into Marvel's Secret Invasion, a little pop culture, and a whole lot of music.
All right, so y'all don't go anywhere. Stick around. We got some more Jabo on the way. All right, peace.
For the pop show, let's put the face up on the screen.
Oh man,
Reese, how's it going?
It's going pretty good.
all right,
You excited?
you got it.
I'm very excited. I was very nervous like 2 minutes ago, but I'm good.
It's just a conversation. It's just a conversation.
Yeah, we chilling. You the third amigo.
So, before we get into the main topic, the Secret Invasion, I really wanted to look at our relationships to pop culture and everything. I'm the sweaty nerd. I read comic books. I keep up on the news and everything. But I know everyone has a different relationship. Like Keisha, like you kind of did me a favor here by watching the show on my time, because you can wait and watch them like after they've all dropped and binge and everything.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's necessarily like a casual, but like how would you describe pop culture in you?
Yeah, I wouldn't I wouldn't categorize myself as like a really intense or diehard pop culture fan because, like you said, I mean, I can chill back. I don't have to see an episode the day that it comes out. I can also withstand social media before viewing something. I'm not one of those like insane psycho fanatics. But I do like a lot of things. But I just do them in my own time. I mean, you're talking about somebody who just watched the Sopranos series for the first time like 2-3 years ago. So, when it comes to music, it gets my fandom, I guess you'll say, is definitely elevated. I believe that's where the majority of my energy goes towards as far as pop culture is concerned. But yeah, man. I mean, hey, I'm here for it. I did watch Secret Invasion, and started off great, in my opinion.
All right, Reese. So we've watched all the Marvel movies together. We go to the movies and everything. We've had long conversations about this stuff. But I know as a Marvel fan, you've kind of been not too keen on Marvel lately. So
I have not. I have the way I look at Marvel as a whole right now. I feel like in terms of movies, it's very 50-50. They'll release like a string of very mediocre films and then come back with an amazing one. Like, for example, like Thor: Love and Thunder is probably my least favorite MCU movie ever, but Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is probably my favorite.
Okay, where are you at with Quantumania? 'Cause I just saw that for the first time. I thought that was actually pretty good.
I thought it was really bad, honestly.
Really?
When I tried to watch it on my own for the first time, I couldn't get past the first 20 minutes because to me it was just that like boring, and it felt like more of like a time consumer instead of like something to do. And then like I gave it another chance, and I went back to it, and I watched it, and I came out with the same feeling. I was just like so disappointed. And I was so excited for that movie because Kang the Conqueror is probably one of the biggest people in the MCU of all time.
Right,
and
right.
I feel like they just butchered his character.
Was it butchering the character, or was it knowing Jonathan Major's legal troubles?
It doesn't really affect how I watch it. I mean, like we were talking about this like last weekend, like with like The Flash and Ezra Miller, and that never like it doesn't really cloud my opinion of like a movie. It does for a lot of people, and I understand why. But like I could never do that. Like judge a movie based on the person in it.
Word. Okay. Well, let's get into it. Secret Invasion.
Yeah. So, Secret Invasion debuted yesterday on Disney Plus. This is the newest Marvel series, which the Marvel series they haven't been getting the biggest rub, but I do feel like I don't know, the pandemic played a lot into it. A lot of stuff got pushed back. I think the biggest one example of that is Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I loved Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but it had glaring flaws because of the pandemic. Like a lot of story had to get cut or changed. So Secret Invasion kind of is the first project really announced post-pandemic that doesn't get all that crap. But let's go first impressions of the show. We've all watched it. So Keisha, like you said you liked it?
Yeah, of course we are dealing with the Skrulls again, which is always fun, shapeshifters and whatnot. They brought my man back. What's his name? Ben. The
Talos,
yeah. Ben Mendelsohn?
Yeah. Yes. They brought him back. Of course, Nick Fury is back. They brought on the Mother of Dragons. Who doesn't like seeing Emilia Clarke, right? I think the cast was pretty decent. Storyline was interesting. But I do have questions. I guess we'll get into that a little bit later on. But first impression, it held my attention. I enjoyed it.
Reese, first impression.
I am very 50-50 with the first episode.
Ooh.
At the start of the episode, I was very. I don't want to say I wasn't interested, but like I felt like I wasn't getting enough out of it that I wanted to stay.
Wow.
But I stayed, and I feel like as I watched it, it got a lot better. And I think out of every single Marvel show that they've done so far, I think it has the most potential to be like the best one.
Okay.
I love like them bringing back the Skrulls for like a story.
Yeah.
Like that's. I really like that about Captain Marvel. So
yes.
It's surprising because not a lot of people like Captain Marvel, from what I've seen. So I'm excited to see them like flesh out that story.
That's a little. That's a lot of idiots that want to get on Brie Larson because of politics. But I enjoyed Captain Marvel. I thought it was great.
I did too. Like I don't get the bad rap. I freaking enjoyed that one too.
My first impression, I enjoyed the show greatly.
Yeah.
The comic book series was one of my favorite Marvel crossovers of all time. I remember like going to the comic book shop each month, picking up the issues. But I knew going into the show also, it's a Disney Plus show, so I know that they're not going to spring to have all the big stars from the movies. Because a big component of the comic book was finding out that these superheroes were Skrulls. People that had been taken over, like Iron Man. I mean, Iron Man wasn't, but that was one of the reveals, like on the covers, to make you think it was Iron Man, a Skrull. They're not going to get Chris Evans or Robert Downey Jr. or anyone from the movies, whether their character's alive or dead, to come in. It would have been cool if we got something like that, a tease at the beginning, but the show to me had way more of a Captain America and the Winter Soldier vibe, that spy thriller.
Yeah.
And so I find Reese's comments 50-50, because if I remember right, Reese, you weren't too big of a fan of Winter Soldier.
That's actually what I was thinking about. My opinion on that show has changed so much. It is my favorite MCU show now.
Really? Okay. I'm glad to hear that, because I enjoyed Winter Soldier too.
What about the movie Captain America, the Winter Soldier? Captain America 2.
Are you talking about the series, or are we talking about the series or the movie right now?
Well, both. But Captain America 2, the Winter Soldier, is probably top 5 Marvel movie for me.
Right on.
I feel terrible saying this in front of you, but it is on the lower end of my list of Marvel movies. I just the only reason I brought myself to watch it is because I knew I needed to, because it was one of the only Marvel movies that I hadn't watched, and I just didn't enjoy it as much as the other Captain America movies.
Dang.
I think, in my opinion, it is last on my list of the Captain America trilogy.
All right, so the show itself, its opening was pretty intense for me. We got to see a character that has been through several Marvel movies, Black Panther movies in particular as of late. I won't say the name because in case people don't want to be spoiled or whatever, but they were revealed to be a Skrull, so that was a great introduction.
Right. Yeah.
That was a great introduction. And then we see Nick Fury come down. Nick Fury has been off planet for a while, and I just gotta say, I think they're showing Nick to be even the British lady. She called him this old Nick Fury, and Nick Fury limping around and everything. I gotta say, I think that's a front. I think Fury is totally badass Fury like usual, and that's just him trying to wear people down. We'll find out over the next 5 episodes. But
giving them the old okie doke, huh?
Exactly. Yeah.
Right on.
We meet the Skrull characters. We find out there's this bad faction of Skrulls among the good Skrulls that they want to take over Earth, make it their own planet, because they've been out there waiting for 30 years to get a planet. Nick Fury promised them a planet, and it hasn't happened yet.
Right.
So Keisha, you said you had
that
some questions.
The whole speech about Nick abandoning them and Captain Marvel abandoning them, man, I was oh man, this is gonna, they could really, do something with this whole entire thing, and I feel like they're on a good track. Now, as far as my questions are concerned, everything that you guys mentioned just now kind of brings me to, one of the things that I wondered throughout watching this show. Do you think we're going to have a Captain Marvel appearance anywhere in this series?
What do you say, Reese?
I don't think so. I think I feel like they're already Captain Marvel kind of already has her own, like, dedicated story that she's going to go through. Because, like, Miss Marvel and, like, the post-credits for that, when it ended. But, so I don't think they would be able to fit her into that story because she's already so busy with that. The Marvel is going to be, like, huge for that. So, like, I couldn't see them fitting her in while also making it make sense.
Okay. That's interesting. I do want to point out Secret Invasion is 6 episodes. It's going to wrap up in July. And then in November is the Marvels movie. So, and we know from Ms. Marvel's show, that last scene, last we knew Carol Danvers is on Earth. It could be a small appearance, but I would not be surprised if we get a Captain Marvel appearance. Maybe even just as small as the Ms. Marvel appearance.
Yeah. Nice. That's what I was, I mean, at least I was hoping it would. You know.
And I haven't heard anything like on the leaks and everything. There's been nothing as far as her. But there was not necessarily a leak, but some interesting stuff on Disney Plus platform. When you go to like the Nick Fury section that they have right now, they point out the ABC TV show, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It was 7 seasons. It had its ups and downs, but it was I enjoyed that show.
Okay.
But Nick Fury wasn't necessarily a major part. He made 2 appearances maybe. So it's kind of interesting that they're highlighting that show, and we know like we have a multiverse going on in the MCU. So I'm kind of hoping that a couple characters from that show end up appearing in Secret Invasion.
Yeah. Word. You know, the only other question that I really had was about Nick Fury, and we basically touched on all of that. So, you know, those are my 2 major questions.
Try not to spoil stuff again, but the show ends on something that...
I'm going to say, we got to talk about the dramatic conclusion, man. And before we talk about that, okay, can we just talk about the subject of spoilers? Okay, for a minute here. Are we really going to go the duration of this series, having total regard for people who haven't watched it in over 24 hours? I don't think we should.
Okay, I'm down.
I mean, I honestly, like, you know, you can always watch this show another time. And I guess we can give a warning, a spoiler alert warning. Yeah. But you know, I mean, I would like to be able to talk about the show in its entirety.
Hell yeah.
With no regard for, you know, I mean, this is our show. We do our shit the way we want to do it, right?
Let's do it.
So let's just go ahead and talk about that dramatic conclusion.
So the show ends with quite the I don't know, battle of wills between the Skrull faction and Nick Fury's little team there. Big explosion, and a Skrull shapeshifts and becomes Nick Fury and tricks Maria Hill, and bang bang. And I gotta say, like, that Maria Hill getting killed off, it pissed me off.
Pissed me off. I was shocked. Yeah. I literally gasped at that point. I immediately jumped on the internet like, why the fuck? Excuse me. Why the hell didn't she want to do this series? You know, I'm looking. You know, I'm a conspiracy theorist. I'm like, there's got to be some crazy, like, odd reason for why she didn't want to be a part of this show. Like, I'm pissed off about that too, Mark. I am.
She's a favorite character of mine. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how did you feel about them off in Agent Hill, Reese?
I was absolutely shocked. I did not think they were going to do it.
Yeah.
But, like, and it happened so quick. So, like, I had, like, no time to think, and I was just like, you know, they just did that.
Was I the only one that rewound that scene and watched it a second time?
Oh, I watched the whole show a couple times now.
Okay. Well, you know, that particular scene I watched again just to see if I had missed anything, but I mean, to me that was the most shocking part of the whole entire show, the debut show. I was shocked. No, I was more shocked than finding out that Agent Ross was a Skrull. Oh, spoiler alert!
I'm like, it's comics, it's MCU. Like, she's gonna be alive at the end somehow. I just know it. I know it.
Me too. That was okay. So that did bring up another question. Is she really dead? I am refusing to believe right now that she is dead. I'm expecting her to come back, maybe episode 3 or 4 or something. I just refuse to believe it. Because I mean, hell, we thought Nick Fury, right? exactly. To scare us with the Nick Fury death once before. I mean, I refuse to believe that she's done. I do. I really do.
One of the first things I thought when it ended, like when I stopped watching it, was like, is she a Skrull? Like, that's what I'm thinking. I think there's a possibility.
Definitely.
That could be true. I kind of wondered that, but then I was like, Gravik or whatever his name is, he's the one that killed her, so I don't know.
Word.
So we'll have to wait for next week for answers.
Yeah.
We're gonna get some answers next week on that. But that's not the only thing we got going on. And as we've talked about many times on Jabo, my son is really into music. Like,
I love music.
Way beyond anything I do. And I give full credit to his mom. She's like that kind of music nerd. And so he's got it from her. And it's something we always enjoy talking about. And, we got our own platform, Keisha and I. And I said, you know what? This kid loves music so much. Let's do some music stuff. So, Reese, I gave you an assignment. And, whatever you want to talk about in music, it's your stuff. So what you got for us this week?
To start, something that happened about like 2 weeks ago that took me by surprise. I am probably like one of the biggest fans of Kendrick Lamar of all time. And him and Baby Keem released a music video that featured Tyler, the Creator, in it. And in that, Tyler announced another big festival, Camp Flog Gnaw, this year, and it's going to be at Dodger Stadium, I'm pretty sure. When the tickets went on sale, they sold out in like an hour. I didn't even have a chance to look at them. They said sold out like immediately. The headliners haven't been released yet, but everybody's wondering like who's going to be there. And I think they're going to have to cut a lot of the people that they did last time.
Word. It's the whole concert festival thing has really taken flight over the past couple of years. Of course, we all know about the big ones like Coachella, Bonnaroo, Fly Up in Delaware is picking up a lot of steam. But as far as, in the hip-hop community, there really hadn't been a whole lot previously. I was really glad to hear about this whole Tyler the Creator project. Reese, we talk about Tyler a lot. I'm also a fan as well. But I am very happy to hear about this project. Jay-Z started, I believe he was one of the first hip-hoppers, or maybe even before that, the Roots Picnic might have been before Jay-Z's Made in America. But I would like to say that these two were kind of some of the, mainstream front runners for the whole hip-hop festival experience. I guess they kind of like paved the way, opened the doors for the likes of Tyler Creator. Another big one that's starting to pick up steam is Dreamville down there in North Carolina. Something in the Water here in D.C. So, to add Tyler Creator to a growing list, man, That's some real flavor right there for you. And at Dodger Stadium, oof, that's a nice venue. That's a sweet venue for your first, go around.
Yeah, that's big, especially for him.
It's
Hell yeah.
It takes place November 11th and 12th. Fortunately, the Dodgers will probably have their season wrapped up by then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of disappointed with Coachella this year.
This year's lineup, yeah.
It wasn't what I was expecting it to be, and not in a bad way, because like there were some people there that like I really loved. Kali Uchis,
but they didn't really knock it out the. They didn't knock it out the park with the whole lineup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the big
totally
things
agree with
that
you on that.
people were very excited about was Frank Ocean coming out of like his what people think is like a retirement, but like
more like a hiatus.
Well, yeah, he hasn't. I mean, it's been a while since he released anything.
Yeah.
Remotely.
Yeah.
But I was so disappointed with that. It was genuinely one of the most angering things I've ever seen. It was such a letdown, and I feel bad for the people that like camped out overnight to see him. Like just
really
the spots. He came out like an hour late and didn't even have like a microphone.
What?
Yeah.
Ooh, that sounds like some Lauryn Hill shit.
Yeah.
You might need to educate them who Lauryn Hill was. No.
No, I'm pretty sure he knows. He might not know about her concert habits. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he knows who L Boogie is. But yeah, wow, that is disappointing. I did not hear that. This year. But again, I didn't pay. I was, Reese, I got to tell you, I was not impressed with this year's lineup. So I didn't even pay attention to, once everything went down, I didn't even really pay attention. I didn't even look for anything on social media or anything like that. So, to hear that about Frank Ocean, that's surprising. And I could feel your disappointment in that because, like you said, it's been quite some time since he's done anything musically.
Yeah, his last project, like, not even just musically, but, like, as a whole, was, like, the album that he dropped in 2017.
Yeah,
and then he just kind of went.
Well, speaking about new projects and stuff, and we're talking about Tyler, Creator, how do you like his new stuff? His newest stuff, I should say.
Yeah, he released the deluxe for Call Me If You Get Lost this year.
Yeah.
And I stayed up to listen to that when it released because I was so excited. I'm like, Tyler is really what like piqued my interest in music. And it's what like brought it to life. So obviously I was really excited. And I'm glad to say it was not a letdown. It was really good, I think. And I'm surprised that some of the songs that got on there were scrapped from the original album. Because some of the songs on there, I think, are better than the original track list.
Word. Now, in regards to Tyler, the Creator, what do you enjoy about him most? I mean, me personally, I love his versatility. I feel like he's very versatile as an artist. But, what attracts you to Tyler, the Creator's music? What are those things?
That's one of the things I was going to say. His versatility is amazing. He does so many different things. And, like, I think out of every single, like, mainstream hip-hop or rap artist, I think he's the most authentic. He does, like, his own stuff. And he does it amazingly. I mean, he's, like, climbing the charts every single day because he just does it so well. And what I love about him the most, probably, is that he does what he wants. Like, he doesn't feel the need to, like, abide by what anybody else, like, critiques him for. He just does what he wants.
Absolutely. Sure thing. And another thing I love about him, if he ever stops doing music, God forbid, he could definitely have a career in comedy because Joe is funny as
really
AF.
fun.
He's funny AF. I think he's hilarious. I mean, there's at least one point in every Tyler album where I have a nice chuckle from a verse or two. God,
he will bring like so many emotions with his albums.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, a lot of his early stuff, I felt like, I like to categorize it as like dark comedy. um,
You're saying everything.
Yeah, yeah. But as he's evolved, and as his lyrics have grown and matured, I begin to appreciate more and more his comedic element to his rhymes. Yeah, no doubt.
His interviews too, like he's always he's just there to have a good time. Like there's no fronting, there's no fakeness to him. Dude's just got a real vibe to him.
Oh, hell yeah. Let me just tell you, I went to see him out in Merriweather maybe about 4 years ago, okay? And, oh my God, let me just tell you about this experience, Reese. So we were out in Merriweather. He was definitely a headliner. I can't remember who opened for him. But, I go to a lot of shows. I'm in a lot of different crowds and everything. But this crowd was by far the wildest group of concert goers that I have ever been with, and that's one of the amazing things about Tyler the Creator. He'll bring out the crazy, the freak, all of that. He brings it all out, and everybody coexists. So I'm walking around, I'm trying to pick my spot out on the lawn and everything. I'm looking around, and I'm noticing that people are sporting this blonde, Andy Warhol wig, yo. I'm seeing, random people, white people, black people, everybody's got this, wig on, and I have, no idea that it's, this Tyler Creator thing. Dog, when he came out, opening set, as soon as he came out, he had on, this lavender suit, it fit him good and everything, lavender suit, blonde Andy Warhol wig, everybody went ape shit. It was just so amazing. And then he just rocked the hell out for the next hour and a half, yo. It was legit one of the livest shows that I've ever been to in my life. Really. He is truly a performer. Oh yeah, man. And it was basically him the whole time. No dancers, no hype up crew or nothing. It was just him acting a fucking fool. And it was amazing. Honestly, it was amazing.
He's a really good performer. I have to give him.
Yeah. Hell yeah. And I'm hoping that he will make his way back here, with all this new stuff that he's doing. I would hope so. But, we'll see. He's sound like he got his hands full right now.
He is due for a new album. He has very consistent releases. I don't consider the Deluxe an album, but a lot of people do.
Yeah.
He releases albums every 2 years, and they're always in the summertime. So I think we're right around the time where he's going to drop something.
Yeah.
So there's we'll
definitely keep our fingers
here.
Keep our fingers crossed on that.
Yeah.
Definitely. We got anything else on the menu for the music tips?
That's all I can really think of right now.
Okay. Well, how about this? I want to do another homework assignment for next show. Can we go ahead and air the great Kanye debate?
Oh.
Can we do that?
Oh, I will.
Okay. Let's do that. Let's go ham on my main man. Everybody knows how much I love Kanye. Man, I love him to death. And you said that you're a big Kendrick Lamar fan. And I'm gonna tell you like this, Reese. A lot of the greatest artists, musicians, rappers, they're Geminis, dude. Okay? Kendrick Lamar is Gemini. Kanye West is a Gemini. So let's keep the Gemini theme going, and let's get it in on Kanye next week.
Keith
How's that
Alexander, Gemini.
Sounds good to me.
You already know. All right, well, that's what's up. Mark, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to you. Let you close this segment of the show out, yo.
All right, thanks, everyone, for tuning in to the Jabo Superstream. We got the sports to start. We got the pop to end. Great conversation. Had fun. And, tune in next week. Get a follow-up on that Secret Invasion and And man, the Kanye debate, I feel like we have to really promote that because these conversations have been fun in private. On the air, it's going to get wild.
Yeah, hell yeah.
All right, tune in next week.
For sure. Yo, Baltimore, you know how we end this show? Spread love, yo. Like Mark said, the Jabo Pop Superstream. Next week we might break it up into 2 different episodes. I think that might be best. But we really hope you enjoyed tonight. I'm Keisha. On the other end is my main men, Reese and Mark. Y'all enjoy your weekend. Peace.